What up, it's Magnetic, and today I'll be profiling a Lightsworn Synchro deck, and I kind of just made it on the spot, so my extra deck is actually really terrible, so I kind of need to work on my extra deck a little bit, and there's a ton of proxies, so I apologize for that, but, yeah, here's the deck. 3 Raiden, it's a tuner, it mills a lot. It's the only Lightsworn card that mills on your main phase, so that's pretty cool. So I'm trying to adjust my light situation because my lighting's terrible. I'm sorry. 3 Raiden, arguably the best Lightsworn. The next contender is Lumina. As you saw in the Flynn Open, my opponent was able to just discard a card, summon a card, discard a card, summon a card, and discard, I think, a Minerva, and then summon a Minerva, I don't know. But, pretty good card. And definitely good for summoning monsters from the graveyard. Next, 3 Felice. Basically, if it's milled by the effect of a Lightsworn, actually by any monster, I believe, special summon it, and then you can tribute it and mill 3 and destroy one of your opponent's monsters. Next is Wolf. You can, when this is milled at all, you can special summon it, but you cannot normal summon Felice or Wolf, just so you guys know. Also, Felice is very expensive. I think it's like $8. 2 Lila. Really, this is just the MST of the deck. You can use it and then immediately Synchro Summon or XE Summon. 1 Minerva. I previously had 3. I don't know how I like it, but this is nice. Nice card. You can get Judgment Dragon out easier, and I know it's a Lightsworn Synchro deck, but I feel like you can't play Lightsworn without Judgment Dragon. Also, I'm not going to be using Pot of Desires in any of my decks. I know it's a great card, but it's so expensive. I'm not even going to bother proxying it because I know I'm never going to spend $100 on one card. Like, Shaman was hard enough to do that because, I mean, that's $50 in the trash, really. 3 Judgment Dragon. Amazing card. Now, this is a card that apparently is possibly going to get hit by the ban list. I still don't know why because it's not anywhere near broken. But still, Levelier. When this card is in your graveyard, let me get my lighting better. There. When it's in your graveyard, you can target a level 5 or higher monster, reduces level by 1, and then special summon it. And the best part about it is, when you use it for a Synchro material, it goes right back to the graveyard. You can use it again on that Synchro monster. So that's, I mean, I guess it's kind of broken, but it's not ban-worthy. I mean, maybe putting it at 2 instead of 3. I can see them doing that, but another card that's good with the loops is Fairy Tale Snow. When this card is summoned, you can change one of your opponent's monster to face down defense position. When this card is in your graveyard, you can banish 7 cards and special summon it. And that's anywhere. From your hand, your field, your graveyard, banish them. And it's really good for clearing out space on your field. Next one, Trick Clown. This is good in Lightsworn. If it's sent to the graveyard, target a performance monster in the graveyard, which can include this, and special summon it, and you take 1,000 damage, and it has no attack or defense. But it's really just because it's a level 4, so it's good synchro material. 1 Dawn Knight. No, you can't tell this is a Dawn Knight, but it's a Dawn Knight. When it's destroyed, you can send a light monster to the graveyard from your deck. If this card is milled, you can put a Lightsworn. You can put a light monster from the graveyard on top of your deck, so that's a really good card. Next is 3 Destiny Hero Malicious. This is a level 6, but it's only 800. You banish it from your graveyard, special summon 1 from your deck. Really just to, because when it's milled, you can summon another one. And it's level 6, so that's kind of helpful. Trying to think of what to do next. I'm going to do the other tuners. 2 Plague Spider Zombies. If this is in your graveyard, put a card from your hand on top of the deck and special summon it. That's also helpful because you can use any card and then use it to summon TG Hyper Librarian and then just draw that card back again. 1 Jet Synchron. Only 1 because it's really only supposed to be for an effect, and then you can summon it from your graveyard, so when you mill it, that's nice. Resonators, we have 2 Synchron Resonator and 1 Red Resonator. Both really good cards. And by the way, this is a 60 card deck, which is insane, but hey, it's a Synchro Lightsworn deck, so it kind of has to be insane. 3, sorry, let me adjust my camera angle a little bit. That should be a little bit better. 3 Resonator Call. Since there's only 3 Resonators, this can get them out really fast. And, yeah. 3 Solar Recharge. Since it's a Lightsworn deck, of course you need Lightsworn spell support, so that's a nice card. And also, 2 Charges of the Light Brigade. You can only have 2, but it's a really good card to use, period. And the milling is actually really good. I mean, normally you don't really like the milling, but just so good. 3 Gold Sarcophagus. This deck just messes with the banish pile so much. When you have Pot of Desires in this, it's ridiculous. Like, there's actually a video on YouTube about a Lightsworn Synchro deck, a lot like this deck actually. It's even 60 cards. And it runs a lot of the same stuff too. They actually decked their opponent out because their opponent used Max C, and they literally special summoned so many times that they decked their opponent out by their own Max C. And it just messes with the banish pile so much. This build, since I'm not using Pot of Desires, I'm also not going to use Different Dimension Reincarnation, but 3 Gold Sarcophagus. I should say, if I get like a booster box of Dark Illusion or something and happen to pull 2 or 3 Pot of Desires, I guess I'll play them. But I'm not going to purposely try and buy them. 2 Lure of Darkness. Another thing, just messes with the banish pile. The reason I say pile is because it's going to be huge. It's going to be like the size of a deck without sleeves, basically, is what your banished card stack is going to look like. Lure, we have plenty of targets for lures, so yeah. 2 Instant Fusion, pay 1,000 life points, special summon, fusion monster. Norden is a good target for it. Really, Norden, Panzer Dragon, and Stalfenizer Strict are like the only things you can use with Instant Fusion that are actually worth doing. 3 Magical Stone Excavation. Discard 2, it's like Monster Reincarnation, but for spells. Discard 2 cards, put a spell card from your graveyard in your hand. And then you can use Different Dimension Reincarnation, but it's really usually when you're playing Pot of Desires. But I'm playing Monster Reincarnation. Discard a card, put a monster in your hand from the graveyard. Also, we have 2 cards that are really just for consistency. 2 Metal Foes Fusion. You're going to want this in your graveyard, milled. You can special summon a fusion monster that's a Metal Foes. That's not what it's here for. It's because when it's in your graveyard, you can shuffle it into the deck and draw a card. That's really the point of it. Soul Charge. this can just bring up some really overpowered OTK plays. Same for Foolish Burial with Wolf. That Wolf is pretty much your only target for Foolish Burial, and then Rhoda. Really, you're only gonna use Raiden when you use Rhoda. No traps in this deck. I took out the Royal Decree for the Magical Stone Excavation, and my extra deck I think needs some work, but I think I've got it working well enough now. I had to take out my favorite card, but one Dante. I don't have Minerva, and once again, really my limit for buying a card is probably going to be about $50. So I'm not going to buy Minerva, but Dante is good. Similar to Minerva. One Giant Hand, really just for negating your opponent's effects. I was going to do Abyss Dweller, but one Dark Rebellion. Really, if you have level 4s in a deck, you need to play it, even if you're not going to use it much. And then Hope Arbinger. I'm never taking this card out of my deck. If they make a rule that you can only have one extra deck card, I'm still going to have this be my one extra deck card. Because I don't think there's only been like 1 or 2 games that I've played using this deck with Hope Arbinger where I get it out and my opponent doesn't scoop. One Formula Synchron. For some reason, all of my proxies happen to be like the low level synchros. I don't know why, but one Formula Synchron. When you synchro summon it, you draw a card, and you can, with the synchro monsters, you can special summon synchros during your opponent's turn. And also the drawing cards effect is really nice. Tatsunoko. You can use monsters in your hand as synchro materials, and it's unaffected by monster effects. So, and it's a tuner. Also tuner, Axel Synchron. You can mill a Synchron monster, which is why Jet Synchron's on there for, and increase or reduce this level by the milled monster's level. And you can synchro summon using this card during your opponent's turn. Now this card is really the key for your OTK plays. When you synchro summon a monster, draw a card. Now this can add up really quick when you use like Formula Synchron, so you draw 2 cards, stuff like that. This is what I took out in place of Shadow Lich. I don't know how it's gonna work, but basically, Virgil. Really the only card you can use is when it's destroyed, you can draw a card. That's really why I have it in here for. So, still pretty good. And then this is another one where with TG Hyper Librarian, it just gets insane. Stardust Charge Warrior. Because what you can do is you can have TG Hyper Librarian. You can summon that, draw a card. Draw 2 cards actually, because of TG Hyper Librarian and its effect. That's 2. Formula Synchron. Now you do 4. And now you can synchro summon a level 8. So that's 5 cards drawn in a turn. So that doubles your hand size, in theory. Michael, don't really need to explain that. It's a Lightsworn deck. You need it in there because it's a Lightsworn deck. Ancient Fairy Dragon. This is really key for the OTK as well. Just getting an extra monster. Actually, it's not good for the OTK, but it's good for next turn. Colossal Fighter and Stardust Spark Dragon. Both level 8s, both good for summoning Hope Arbinger. And then one Norden and tokens. But anyway, that is my Synchro Lightsworn deck. I'm also gonna do my thing real quickly, my side deck. 3 Ghost Ogre, 3 Necro Gardener, 2 Scapegoats, 2 Gores, 1 Blackluster, 2 MST, 1 Regeki, 1 Black Rose. Leave a like, subscribe, keep on gaming.